Okay, guys, I'm hoping my audio is better today because yesterday when I rode home from the dealership, and I got home and I realized the mic was not great. The mic's right, maybe you guys can see it, it's right here. I had it up inside my cheek pad because I was hoping that it would help with some of the wind noise, but I had the mic pointed more this way instead of maybe out, so because of that, I think it was having issues. Plus, I was riding not like fast, but faster than I normally ride because I was just trying to get home before dark, and that was causing definitely some more wind and noise for sure. All right, let's start this up. Hold on, ready? I'm a pretty big fan of having fuel injected. Okay, ready? Oh, that's so nice. I got my phone up here, which is charging. Got my quad lock. I do have to. We just zip tied it. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the cables because there's a spot. It looks like underneath here, like there's some empty spot underneath the fairing that I should be able to to kind of move around and get some cables in there. Is the thought. And guess what I did first thing this morning? Yep, I washed the bike. I'm one of those guys now. I'm a bike washer. Yep, I wasn't doing it very much on my old bike because I don't know, I just wasn't. And today's a nice day because I do get to wear normal gloves, not big winter gloves, so I get a better feel of the clutch and stuff like that. This has a better turning, like it turns tighter than my bike did for sure. My old bike. This is my bike. Yeah. Okay, anything coming? And the seat is definitely lower because like I can, you guys may or may not even be able to see it, like I can easily, like I can flat foot all the way out here. Now I am 6 feet tall, but still the big thing for me to get used to, without question, is for one, again, not having a heel shifter. That's something. And just where everything is, because I keep barely, like, even with the clutch, I'm like barely hitting it. My foot's not quite where it's supposed to be. The brake, I have to kind of position myself to make sure that it's where I want it. Look at that, I'm only out for like 3 minutes and already somebody on a motorcycle. See, this bike sounds nice. It's got a little bit of a tick, but so did I don't know, it's an older bike. It's still 10 years old. Well, it's 9 years old, I guess. And I had the guy who sold it to me texted me this morning. He's like, so how is it? Well, any concerns? And I was going to say, there are a couple. Number one, and I don't even know if I really talked about it in the video I put up yesterday when I was driving home, and you may not have been able to hear it because, again, I don't know what was. Anyway, the sound wasn't great. Let's just put it that way. When you're in cruise control and kicking it out of cruise control was an issue. I don't know what this person's doing. Like, you can't turn down there. Like, what's happening here? Was somebody gonna go? And small town Nova Scotia, where nobody knows how to drive. They're still sitting there. Nobody's, heaven forbid you figure out how to use that detour, Wouldn't that be something? Got your license from a Cracker Jack box. Yep. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah, so the two issues that I had was, first, when the cruise control is on, and the cruise control itself works good, but there was a lot of times where I'd hit the brake, like the handbrake or my foot brake, and the cruise control, it just wouldn't turn off. Now it definitely should turn off. That should be something. I don't know any motorcycle that, or any vehicle, not even a motorcycle, that shouldn't turn off if you hit the brake. It just doesn't make sense, right? keep moving my foot back to go for the heel shifter, which isn't there. Now I know you can get a heel shifter, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, it'd be weird to kind of figure. Well, no, I guess you just slide back and find it. I think I might get one of those too. They're not very expensive. They're like, I don't know, 70 or so bucks, 80 bucks, something like that. So that was number one. That was when I noticed for sure. I noticed that while driving it, that I was like, that's something, because I was there was one point where I was on the brakes, and you could tell, like, it wasn't, the cruise control was still on. It was still trying to push me forward. I was fighting braking and the cruise control at the same time. So I was like, okay, well that doesn't seem right. Second one, and it's kind of as of now, and I've only ridden it once, and this is my second time riding it, is that on low beam, the headlight, for the most part, it's good, because I rode back yesterday in the dark, and I could see the road, so that was excellent. But I think it flickers. There's a little bit of a flicker to it. It's a what you call it, light, an LED light. So one of the bulbs or a series of the bulbs at the bottom, like the bottom row, that they're like, it's almost like they're flashing. So it's got a flicker to it. That definitely shouldn't be happening. There should be no flicker, for sure. So I did text him back, because he was like, how is it good? And I was like, yes, but on my one ride, and it's not, to be honest with you, it wasn't a ride that I was focusing on. Let's see what's right or what's wrong with this bike. But those are two things that I just kind of got right off the bat. Now the other thing, and maybe it's just for those of you out there, my old motorcycle, I put the gas in, because you put gas in these. I put the gas, whatever, nozzle in here, just crank it like normal. It's fine. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, or I'm not putting the hose in right. I was getting gas like spraying all over the place, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. A friend of mine, I just found out, who drives an Indian, his, I guess it was previous bike, was exactly this bike, just in red. So I'm gonna ask him if he knows what I'm doing wrong. He'll probably be like, well, you're an idiot. And I'll be like, yeah, there's a chance of that, for sure. Definitely a chance of that. Other than that, though, I'm loving it. I do definitely need to get a backrest, because when I got home last night, and it was pretty much 3 hours straight, and that's outside of the 3 hours that I rode there on my old Royal Star, my previous bike, by the time I got home yesterday, my back was sore, for sure. My butt, no, that was fine, but my back was definitely on the sore side. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, yeah, there it is. I'm feeling that, for sure. I'm just used to having, that ability to kind of push yourself back on something, whereas here you just don't have that, right? You don't have that ability to kind of play like, there it is, and that's a nice resting spot. So you're either kind of back, or I think the issue is I'd go backwards, right? I'd lean backwards like this, but because there's nothing back there, I'd go too far, and I'd end up punching, because that's where the pain is when I'm in that hunched position. So I try to force myself to sit up straight and stuff like that. But hey, you're on a cruiser and you're driving for 3 hours. You're not always going to be sitting in the same position all the time. Plus, we did get some rain and stuff like that, so I was trying to get myself down a little lower so that my windshield was protecting me as much as possible. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of the heated everything. I like the fact that the heated stuff's right there. Now on my bike, it was kind of there too, just down a little bit lower, right? I had this Oxfords installed, but same kind of position. And I started off with them on hot, and it was too hot, and then I ended up just kind of driving with low. Now I had heated gloves on as well, so that kind of helped. But Yeah, hot. Hot gets hot, for sure. And I talked about this yesterday, but again, I don't know if you heard it. The heated seat, you just don't know. I have people being like, oh, people with heated seats, come on now, that's just ridiculous. No, it is not. No, it is not. It's 14 degrees out right now, and guess what? My seat is turned on. Yeah, I have it on low, but it's fantastic. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go for a ride tomorrow. Yeah, there's a Remembrance Day ride tomorrow, which is a week before Remembrance Day, but I think they're doing it now just because of the fact that weather. You just, as you get closer to the middle of November, you're really rolling the dice. But heated seat for sure. And when I have to head into Halifax because that's where the ride is. I have to be in Halifax by 9 in the morning, and I guarantee you it'll probably be like leaving my house maybe like 4 or 5 degrees. So I am definitely going to be wearing or utilizing the heated gear. I may even and I'm unsure, I may even try to ride tomorrow morning because it's only it's from my house to where I'm meeting up with my buddy. It's about a half an hour, give or take. I do like the clutch. The clutch is nice too. The clutch on my Royal Star was hydraulic, right, which was nice, but I found it was stiff. Like it was hard to push in. Like you needed some muscle. So do you on this one, but not as much. So it's nice. Okay, ready? I wanna. And this is a long bike, so I find it's really smooth. Okay, ready? Let's crank it up, right? Look at those RPMs. And here's another thing that's funny, is that when I was riding yesterday, and I don't know how far I was coming onto the highway from where I bought the bike onto the highway, and of course I was watching the gear indicator, and I got to 5th, and I was like, okay, cool. I totally forgot, I don't know, probably for about 5 minutes that I had a 6th gear. So that's fun. And see, look at that, 15 degrees outside, and with these gloves, nicely I can go through all my things on the dash. And yeah, see, even right now I'm getting better gas mileage than I did yesterday, and which is awesome, because I was getting like 18.1, and it is a weird reading. I get miles per gallon, but in Canada, when you're doing your gas mileage, it's how many liters per 100 kilometers, right? So usually it's like, like in the car, for instance, our Tucson is like, I don't know, 8. So it takes 8 liters to go 100 kilometers, right? So then that's just how you kind of measure it. And on this bike, it's like, what is it? It's how many kilometers can you go on a liter of fuel? So it's very miles per gallon, but a little pop there. Did you hear that? Oh, pop, pop, pop. I like that. I like that sound. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I like that little pop, pop, pop. I do. All right. I'm just kind of driving around, and I thought, for me, because again we're going on this Remembrance Day ride tomorrow, I wanted to make sure that my microphone was working and it was in a good space for it, etc., etc. So this is really more of a test, just to see if it was working, and because I know that the video I put out yesterday, the audio sucked a whole lot of ass. I figured that I'd kind of do a recap a little bit. Now, if you guys have any questions on this bike, because you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind buying the Victory, let me know, and I'll let you know. I'll answer any questions, I guess, that I know. Again, I've only owned this bike now for 24 hours. As of now, not even 24 hours. No. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna continue my ride. I'm gonna go enjoy a coffee, and then head home. Oh yes. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Another video. All right, guys. I'm out. Later.